it's really important that we bring our supplies first things first, right? Please put your informational books away. Today we're going to have a chance to actually read our Return of the Jaguar book. We will use our whisper phones in just a minute. Today, our main focus is going to be to pay attention to the subheadings and the headings in this book. And this is an informational piece, right? In this book, we're going to be reading a lot of information about the Jaguar. You've already had a chance to preview it, correct? Yes. Do you remember some of the questions you were wondering about the Jaguar? Some of the questions you wrote down on your reading page. So we want to take turns. Does anyone remember a question that they previewed when they were previewing the book? Rigo?
So like when Jaguars first, I'm wondering when Jaguars first see their prey, how long does it take them to kill it and like to take it as prey?
Okay. From the moment they first see it to when they actually pounce and eat the prey. Good question. How long does it take? Camila, what was one of the questions you thought?
Well, I haven't write it down, but I just thought how were they born?
How are jaguars born? You mean like, are they mammals? Do they have live births or do they lay eggs? Is that what you're wondering? So how was the species of the jaguar created? Was it a cat and a tiger? Was it a lion and a
Elephant?
elephant? Ooh, I don't know about an elephant. Ooh. Okay. Carissa, did you have a question you thought of when you were previewing the book?
Yeah, when I was looking at the first page, it said that there was in fall of 2015.
Can you tell us what page so we can turn to it?
Four.
Page 4. Guys, can you look at page 4?
I remember two, so can I say them?
Of course, 2 questions.
My first question was what day of fall? And then my second question was who handed the camera?
Yeah. So you want the author to be more specific. That is a good topic to point out as we are writing our books, right? About our endangered animals. So that's something to remember, to be specific. What day in fall? And who hid that camera? You know, I follow this, he's a photographer on Instagram, and he's one of those people who actually goes down and hides in the wilderness and is able to take pictures of not so much endangered animals, but animals in the wild. And he is completely camouflaged. He looks like, you know, brown and green, like he's a leaf. And he gets in there and he hides and he photographs animals just like that. So that's a connection I made to your question. What was your question, William?
I was about to say that in the fall, I didn't write this, but it said that in the fall they spotted a giant spotted cat. They're like, what kind of big cat is this? Is this a jaguar or cheetah or something?
Okay. So you were wondering that when you read that first sentence, right? What kind of spotted cat? And then as you kept reading, were you able to answer that question? So what kind of cat was it?
It was a jaguar.
It was a jaguar, right? Because down here below, yeah, down here below in page 4, it says, it was the first video footage captured of the only known wild jaguar. So you answered your own question. Great job, William. Jose Alfredo, we want to hear your question before we get started.
I have 2 things to say. About Carissa's question, hidden cameras.
Yeah.
Probably like anybody put it there to capture footage.
Kind of like a video camera, maybe? Okay, so you think, when you say anybody, what type of person would do that?
Like a scientist or photographer. Or like a guy that like sees animals a lot and captures footage of a lot of like extinct animals.
What might we call someone who,
Conservationist.
right, a conservationist, those people who study animals, right?
Biodiversity.
Yep, with biodiversity.
And my question.
Oh, let's hear Jose Alfredo's question.
The jaguars that they eat people.
I hope not.
They could eat one whole bite. Wait, kind of like 20 bites or 15 bites can eat a whole person. They
Well,
eat people?
Well,
Yeah.
well, we that might be a fact we want to research, right? I don't know if people are necessarily the prey of the jaguar, right? But that's a good question we can research. Can you fix your mask, please? Thank you, friends. Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. Our focus today is we're going to be focusing on, like I said, the headings, okay? So I want you to just quickly take a picture, walk through this book with me. Can you open to the very first page? Thank you. Here we see the title. Let's read the title together. Return of the Jaguar. We do have some words to know. Let's go ahead and read those words to know. Oh, look at him. He's putting that hidden camera. He's setting it up. That's the guy. Let's read those words to know. They're kind of tricky, so I would like you to repeat after me, but please track with your finger. Ready? Advocates. I don't think I heard everybody. Let's try that again. Advocates.
Advocates.
Ancestors.
Ancestors.
Critical habitat.
Critical habitat.
Declined. Endangered. Species.
Species.
Footage.
Footage.
Re-established.
Reestablished.
Reserve.
Reserve.
Territories.
Territories.
Take a quick overview of these words, and I'd like you to circle 3 words that you recognize. 3 words that you've ever heard before. Maybe you know what they mean. Perhaps these words look interesting to you. So maybe some words that you know. And then I'd like you to put a little star next to some words that you're wondering about. So a star or even a question mark. Words that you're, you might need to do a little bit more research to find out what does that word mean.
I'm super bad at stores.
You can do a question mark. A question mark will work too. So we've got circled the words we know and a question mark or star of the ones that we're wondering about. Okay, great. I want you to keep those words in mind as you read. Hold that thought. I know you're writing away. I passed out to you our graphic organizer that you'll notice in the instructions. Let's go ahead and read the instructions. You guys ready?
Important
Go.
information for the section and
Ready.
Then use the information on the right side of the section and summary.
Okay. I heard Rigo, but let's read it all together just so we know what we're doing. Ready? Instructions. Let's read it together. Right here. Ready? Begin. List the important information from a section. In return, you'll also notice section is down here. Okay, so the section we're going to focus on today happens to be the very first section in our book. Let's go through and preview the sections before we start to read. We got to speed it up. Turn to page 3, table of contents. Informative books have table of contents, right? If I wanted to know what page the glossary was on, what page might I read? 16, circle it. That's where I can find maybe some of those words that I starred if I'm still wondering what they mean. If I wanted to know about those hidden cameras, Jose Alfredo, what page might I look at? Jose Alfredo. What page? Page 12, right? Do you notice, Camila, it says captured on camera? Okay.
That's the exact thing I said.
How about if I wanted to read about a girl jaguar?
14.
A girl jaguar. Females, right? Yes, so there's some keywords in there. If we want to skip ahead, that's where we'll go. So now we're going to picture walk through the headings and subheadings, which in this form we're calling section. Can you say that with me? Section. Okay? So first we have hello neighbor. Read it.
Hello, neighbor.
And underline it. Let's underline hello neighbor. Hello neighbor.
That's a big
Keep it going. Oh wait.
I know.
Back to hello neighbor. How can we tell that this is a section or a title of a section? Rigo, how does it look different? How do these words look different?
The words, they're darker.
They're darker.
Than these, and they're called bolded.
They're bolded. Say that with me. Bolded. And we have a chart here of our text features. These are informative, And we can see that headings and subheadings, the title of that section. You see that word section again?
Yes.
There it is. I'm telling you, that word section really is going to stand out today.
That's popular.
It's like the title, right? The title of that section. Kind of similar to like diet and habitat, right? Like we're studying our animals, same thing, okay? So let's take a look quickly and breeze through so we can read this first section, Hello Neighbor. Hello Neighbor, keep it going. What's the next section called?
What is a jaguar?
Underline it. What is a jaguar? Keep it going. Look for the next section. Keep turning. People and predators, that's right.
People and predators.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's captured on camera and changing.
Oh wow, as I'm going, I'm really looking at the pictures as I picture work here. Mm-hmm. Keep it going. Changing attitudes. And make sure you're reading those sections. Keep it turning. Read those sections as you go. Don't just nonchalantly underline them. Captured on camera. Calling all females.
More to come.
More to come. Ooh, I'm looking forward to that. More to come. Hopefully that means there's more jaguars to come. All right, are you guys ready to read?
Yeah.
First things first, we're going to focus on the very first section, which is called Hello Neighbor. So let's write that on our graphic organizer. Right here at the top, we're going to focus on Hello Neighbor. So that's our main focus, and we're going to write that right here. And make sure you're looking at your book so you spell it correctly. Now we're going to get started. Do we want to use our whisper phone? Yes. I have this encrypted just so you know, so we're good. Remember, when we read out loud and we listen to what we're reading, it helps us to become a better reader, right? But it can get distracting when we're working and reading the same book. I know me. I always tend to listen to the person next to me, so that's why we want to whisper when we read. Our whisper phones help it so that it sounds loud. You may use this tool. You've used them before, right? Just a little reminder. If it doesn't work for you, you can just set it down in front of you. I'm also going to be listening in to read. I'm going to start with Rico, okay? So if I just beam in, then you'll put your whisper phone down and listen and read to me, okay? Yes.
And you can like stretch it like that, and it's kind of like those, like two, and then you can put it in your ear.
Ooh, I would love to check that out, Camila. If you have one of those, you can let me see it. All right, try it out.
My sister has Insta, so she
Talk with your fingers so I can see where they're at.
Male jaguars are the ones that typically find new territories in order to start their own families, if females will follow. Students at Tucson, Arizona Middle School wear the
Can I stop you real quick? You said Tucson, and do you see this right here?
Tucson.
Yeah, it helps you pronounce it. Can you start at the beginning?
Students at Tucson, Arizona Middle School, where the mascot is a jaguar, have the vote to name the big cat caught on camera. They settled on El Jefe, which means the boss in Spanish. Within months, the video footage of El Jefe had been seen by more than 20 billion people around the world. He has a star.
Can you go back to this word right here?
He was a star.
Wait a minute. I noticed you just skipped over this picture right here with the caption. Can you read the caption as well?
Black jaguars have fur with different pigment or coloring from other jaguars. What is a jaguar?
Can you stop and think about that a minute? Can you read that one more time?
Black jaguars have fur with different pigments or coloring from other jaguars.
What do you think that caption means?
Like they have different spots on their bodies.
And how do you think their spots might look different?
Like different patterns.
Okay, great. You can keep reading. Thank you for reading with me today. Camila, can you read to me, please?
Where I left off.
Yep, wherever you left off.
Within months, the video footage of El Jefe had been seen by more than 20 million people around the world. He was a star. Black jaguars have fur with different pigment or coloring from other jaguars.
Hold on 1 second. It says that the video footage of El Jefe had been seen by 20 million people. How do you think that was possible? How did so many people see it?
Maybe he put it on like YouTube or like a app, and everybody could like see it.
Sometimes like social media. I wonder if we look it up, if we could find it. That would be pretty cool, huh? Okay, go ahead and keep reading.
What is a jaguar? Jaguars are the third largest wild cats in the world and the largest in the western hemisphere. Only lions and tigers are bigger. Jaguars have thick legs or a large chest and jaws that are capable of crushing a skull. In fact, that's how they often kill their prey.
Can you stop a minute and think about what you just read right here? What is it that is so important to know about jaguars?
They're the third largest wild cats.
Third largest wild cats. Did you know that?
No.
Neither did I. That's a fascinating information, isn't it? Okay, great. You can keep reading.
So what she asked me to do, we read a couple of pages, we learned about the jaguar, we read up to page 10. Then on this page right here, so there's questions like who, what, why, when, and where. And then the section that we're doing is Hello Neighbor. And I've already answered some of the questions. For who, or I just put how fast can the jaguar hunt their prey. For why, I put why do jaguars have fur. And then for when, I put when were jaguars created. And then once we go back with Mr. T for another group, we'll keep on doing like the other sections of this graphic.